How to become an entrepreneur in 8 minutes or less. This is the video podcast of your career. My name is Lynn Hiderocker, and this is Next Biz Success. I've got a couple of folks here that you've got to listen to. They have insight. They've been everywhere. I'm introducing to you today Larry Humberstone and Pam Gunderson. They're a married couple in the eastern Nebraska area, and they have a company. They operate out of their home called P.J. Lawrence and Associates. Guys, I'm so glad to have you on Next Biz Success.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And I know you have great insight. You've done a lot of different things, big corporate careers. You've started companies, franchises, and so on. Let's talk about the key things that people really need to know when they're pondering starting their own business. Should we do that?
Sure.
All right. So let's start with you, Larry. What's the most important thing? How does somebody get started? What should be going through their head if they have that craving, they want to run their own deal?
It's all about passion. Yeah. You've got to discover what your passion is. Your passion in terms of what are the businesses that turn you on? What are the opportunities? If you don't have your passion, then you might as well go to work for a large corporation.
Yeah, and that's so true. And to know what your passion is, it sounds easy to say it. We've all heard it. But to be honest with you, it requires a certain degree of self-awareness, really what you are passionate about. Sometimes you're not necessarily passionate about a business, but you like a certain kind of process, or you're good at a certain interaction that could lend itself, right?
Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
it's a matter of once you discover what that passion is, then you research it, you do your due diligence, you find out, you really want to see if what you have to offer solves problems for other people.
Yeah, does the market care about your passion?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, is there
That's a big question, isn't it?
A
lot of people say, hey, I really care about this. Nobody else cares.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of large companies out there that started off with a small focus, passion. They grew, and they really left their core business behind.
Yeah.
Many times that represents an opportunity for the entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's a
big company no longer can handle those little guys out there.
They're not responsive to a niche or something like that. They're kind of glossing over them.
A lot of niche opportunities.
Absolutely. And Pam, what do you think about this whole process? I know you've been part of Larry's life, and the two of you have been doing some exciting things. What's the next piece in the puzzle if you want to be an entrepreneur?
Well, Lynn, in my opinion, to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a really self-motivated, self-starting individual who has, like everybody, the buzzword right now around everywhere, the world is passion. Yeah. And what you need to do, in my opinion, is check through the yellow pages, whether it's on the internet and or Google up some of the things that you feel passionate about, see what subject titles come up, click onto those, and further your interest level on what you want to get involved in, as Larry talked about, maybe a niche.
Sure.
And start doing your due diligence that way.
All right, so kind of research it.
You bet.
And I know that you're a very resourceful person. You kind of go at it and just kind of get all that information, just kind of jump into a bucket with all the materials and the internet and the articles and stuff like that. What happens then?
Well, I go a step further and I call in my mentor group. I have a lot of sources that are mentors that I think the world of, and so I tap into them for their research and their resourcefulness to continue to try to put those ideas into my head that are exploding to get out and onto paper or into a business.
I know what you're talking about. Now, it's very interesting because it seems like a part of the brain takes over. Once you study something and analyze it long enough, right, you start to see connections, right, between different disparate pieces of information and trends and quotes and resources and so on. Have you experienced that where it kind of comes together into a vision of what you could be doing?
That's true, Lynn. And I'm making lists. I'm making lists. I'm taking the key things that are important to me that make sense from the Google sites and the yellow pages and my mentoring sources, and I'm making lists to start putting the pieces together. Yeah. And this is how it can work, or this is not how it can work, and trying to get my time allocation put together also, because I know time is a critical point, a critical phase of business growing right now.
Yeah, especially when you're in that stage there where you're in the pre-emergent stage, so to speak, and you think you got the idea, but you're not quite sure. You can go on and on and on, kind of cultivating the idea, not quite sure if you got it yet. Should I act on it? Do I go get money? Larry, tell us how people go from the concept to final manifestation where they've got a business and it's actually creating traction in the marketplace.
I found that the best way to do that is really to create pain for yourself. And
I'm familiar with that idea.
Yes,
I think this is a no pain, no gain part.
And pain is when you announce to everyone that you're moving forward with your idea, and you let your family and your business associates and everyone that is connected with you, you let them know I'm launching a business. Now it's just embarrassment alone will keep you focused.
I think you're so right. I mean, that peer pressure that you create. It's like playing a game with your head where you've got to do something, right?
Well, the first business that Pam and I started together, we had the whole concept. We had everything put together. We were ready to go. I'm going, geez, this is great. I feel comfortable with this.
Sure.
And then I kind of felt, well, now I'm there. Well, the next day, Pam's out calling everyone, telling them about our new ideas. She's out networking, telling everyone about our new business. And I'm going, we better move quickly on this thing and get a business going.
We can't just sit around and tread water now.
It may be as simple as going and getting the financing. It takes some kind of a commitment that will cost. Borrowing money to start a business.
That'll cause some pain.
That causes pain, and everyone's got to do it in most cases.
Yeah,
or writing your own check, taking something and putting $50,000, $60,000 out there to launch a business, $100,000. There's pain. You've got some skin in the game.
Right.
You've got to move forward. You've got to make it work.
And you know what? When you get down to that point and you're ready to dive off that diving board, sometimes I've even found it's helpful to have a ritual, or maybe have key people around you. It's got to have some kind of emotional content. It's not just a transaction, there's got to be some kind of an emotional commitment as well.
Oh, definitely, and that should have been at the beginning, though.
Yeah.
Once you discover what your passion is, once you come up with an idea that you want to really move forward with, you've validated that it's going to work.
Yeah.
Then you do it.
Yeah. As we wrap up here, what's the one thing both of you would say? The one mistake that entrepreneurs make? They're psyched up. They got an idea. They think they're going to move forward with it. In your background and your experience, how do they screw up?
For me, Lynn, is if you don't write it down and have it in front of you every single day when you get up in the morning, and you have your list below it of what you have to do. If you don't do those things, it's not going to happen.
All right, that's a great tip.
So take action.
All right. What about you, Larry?
I think that again, it's finding that financial commitment up front. It's realizing it's going to cost you 30% than you thought it was going to, 30% more than you thought it was going to.
Right. Being pragmatic financially.
Yes, financial is always a big a challenge, and then it's. Once you get started and it doesn't seem to be working, you have to keep your mind open and go back and reinvent it.
Yeah.
Stay with it.
Thank you, Larry Humberstone and Pam Gunderson. You're with P.J. Lawrence and Associates. That's in the eastern Nebraska area. You're career developers and counselors and consultants, something we all badly need. Thanks for joining me on Next Biz Success. My name is Lynn Hinderrocker, and this was a short story. You got it all right here in 7 or 8, 9 minutes. Thanks for joining us on Next Biz Success. Keep on going and keep on growing.